Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here, and welcome to another Sword of Convallaria video, and today we've got the Talents Guide. Yes, you guys have been asking for this, and it took a very long time for me to try to gather all of the information. As you can see, I'm on the test server, and I have everything unlocked, okay? That's why it took so long, because I needed to go and make sure I double check all of the information across every single path, unlocking them all to Radiant so that I can unlock all of the hidden ones that you cannot see normally, and then cross-checking it behind the CN as well as the Taiwanese guides that are currently out there to bring you guys this information. And as always, the information is updated on my spreadsheet, which I'll link down below, but in point form. Okay, so if it doesn't make sense to you here, it doesn't matter, because in this video I'll break everything down so that by the end you will understand what you need to do from a mid-game to end game point of view as you're leveling up your talents, because it makes a huge difference, and it's very expensive as you approach the late game in terms of the materials, the cost and everything. So you definitely don't want to go down the wrong path, as they say. So yes, let's get things started. Well, first things first, okay, not all paths are created equal. Unfortunately, some units are just much better, and with it their path is going to be much stronger. So in terms of priority, I would say Watcher's path is definitely the highest, followed by Seeker and Destroyer, and then Breaker I would say slightly atop of Defender. Defender is 100% the ones you want to level up at the end. Okay, so that's first point. Now looking at the tactics, you can see that in the tactic preparation you can change a lot of the stuff. Okay, it's not set in stone in terms of what you can bring, but I'll just go over some of the key tactics that you will use, starting us off with the most broken one, and this is Ragnarok. And I'll show you guys where it is. Again, this information is on the spreadsheet, so you can see the two endgame ones is going to be in the Destroyer category for Ragnarok and Watcher for Warhorn. Let's just check out their skills right here. So Destroyer, yep, Ragnarok. So Ragnarok goes all the way, you can see it goes really far. Okay, and look at the final level, level 5. Of course it's gonna cost a bit, but it deals piercing damage, which is direct damage that ignores the magic and physical defense, equal to 4,000 plus 30% of the max HP of all enemies within 4 tiles. That is a massive amount, and on top of that it'll inflict stun, so it take the enemy out basically for 1 turn. So this is a really broken mechanic. You use in story, use it in the later end game stages as well, because you basically do a massive AoE amount of damage that ignores defense and does maximum HP, so there's scaling on top of that and stunning the enemies. This is a super strong skill and one of the best as we approach the end game. Now the other one I talked about was in the that was the Destroyer one. Then the Watcher one, okay, the other one is going to be the Warhorn, and oh my goodness, okay, you can stop at level 4 if you want to, but ideally push it to level 5. But this is so strong because inflicts Warhorn on all enemies. Okay, this is a debuff, alright? This is a debuff. And this debuff increases damage taken by 80%. Now, if you guys know about the damage calculation here, this damage, increased damage taken debuff is pretty much near the end of the damage formula. So this 80% is absolutely massive. You have to have this skill when you are fighting against certain bosses in the late game, especially if, let's say, you want to challenge the level 65 stages or level 70 stages if you are much lower level. Okay, this basically makes the enemy take so much more damage, allowing you to clear the boss levels at a much weaker power level. And not only that, it inflicts focus target, which reduces a further defense by 20%, and it also prevents reaction skills, so sometimes they can't really counter anything like that. So it's really strong, and this Warhorn is absolutely must have in any boss encounters, and that's why the Ragnarok and Warhorn, these two are going to be your end game ones that you're going to be pushing. Now in terms of the useful ones, okay, the one I really like and the CM players have been recommending is well, there's Urgent Order, which is the other one. I'll just talk about this one first, because at level 3 Urgent Order gives speed, which means the character will act first, but also 2 energy. This is pretty good, not game changing and not super priority, but still good nonetheless. But the one I wanted to talk about that is really good quality of life ones is gonna be your March command. Now you probably picked up the first level and you have used it in various scenarios in the story or PvP even, and you already know that how big of a difference it makes, because it's a very wide AoE buff that allows your allies to move really far, and then after they take their turn they can move another few tiles after attacking. So there's so much utility behind this. And in terms of bringing up to level 5, it's 3 turns, 3 tiles in terms of increased movement, and then you can move another 3 after attacking. So really good utility. So these two, the March Command as well as the Urgent Order, are going to be useful. Now there's one very good PvP. PvP has been changed for the global release, so it's similar to the CN one. But for the Taiwanese server, this used to be a very strong PvP skill, which is Pursuit Order, because it allows them to act again, take an extra turn, and also gain attack 4 buff. Okay, this is a 40% physical or magical damage buff, which is really strong. So big in terms of the amount it gives, allowing the unit to also act again is huge as well. So these are the useful tactics, and now we can talk about the other part, which is how are you going to prioritize what you're upgrading. Now first things first is we talked about the tactics. Okay, you should definitely prioritize the end game tactics 100% if you have the chance to upgrade them, and then pick maybe one of the useful ones to use as you're pushing through. But everything else, okay, you are going to have to prioritize tactical points, which I'll show you also in the in-game screen, attacks, either on the physical and the magic attack, depending on the character that is in the path, and then team-wide buffs. And these are the ones you want to focus on: Seeker, physical attack, destroyer, magic attack, and then breaker HP. These are team-wide buffs for the entire team that is specific to their path, and then class-specific buffs, and we'll talk about it in detail. So let's just jump into the tactical point part, which let's just go to the Seeker, where you can see every path has this. Okay, so it's max TP, which is tactical points, and TP recovery, initial TP, and this is very crucial because they all add up from the different paths. You don't have to push it all the way to the end right off the bat, but definitely push it as far as you can for each path, especially since the voyage missions requires you to push your talent rating across all of the paths. So picking up these talent TP lines for tactical points is going to be very important, because as you start with more TP, you're going to be able to use your tactics at the beginning, and also more as the game goes on. Now in terms of the physical attack and the magic attacks, again, every path has that, but it really depends on the character, right? So looking at, for example, if I'm going for Watcher's path and Gloria benefits from physical attacks, I'll be going through the physical attack line. Now another character that is also a Watcher character would be in Anna. And Anna definitely benefits from the magical attack for her heals, but it's not going to be as important because she already DPSs a lot. So if I had to choose, I would of course go for the physical attack. But for Destroyer, for example, in a path where Barrel is in, I would go for the magical attack instead. And then same likewise the theory behind this for Seekers, where Cole is going to be the dominant one, and later on Sophia as well. So for Cole, I'm definitely going for the physical attack side of things. So you definitely have to pick your sides initially, especially if your path is going to be dominated by certain characters. Now going into the team-wide buffs, and for these team-wide buffs, you normally will see a little sign. Let me just try to find it for you guys. Where is it? There we go. Yes, these ones, this little rainbow thingy on the side, those are team-wide. Every single row will get this, okay? And it normally is tied to the line that most benefits from the path. Remember we said that Seeker's path, you want to go physical, right? And the Destroy path, you want to go magical. You can see that the Seeker's path will, at the end of your physical attack upgrade line, go into the all rows gaining physical attack line. And you can see it's quite a lot if you unlock the level 20 here, and to unlock the physical attack 5% for every single row. That's massive team-wide buff. And likewise, I'll just show very quickly for the Destroyer. They have a very similar path on the magic line here for magic attack, and again, it's going through the magic attack upgrade. So this is where you want to branch out, and ideally not touch these physical side of things if you can help it. And now, so that's Destroyer going for magic, and then there is a breaker path, which is HP. So you can see here HP for the entire team actually very strong, okay? Because a lot of the end game content, you sometimes get one shot, and having this HP 5% here, 60 here, does make a difference, especially the 5% one. Now, there are also class specific buffs, and these ones are usually presented by this clover thing or petal thing. But they can increase damage, and for the class specific buffs, there's only 3 paths that are really worthwhile in terms of getting it. First of all is the breaker one that increases damage dealt. Okay, for all breaker allies in battle, damage dealt is increased by 20%, and the HP is higher than the person you're attacking. So this is a really good skill to have. And then in terms of the seeker one, there's a super strong one. Let me see if I can find it. This one, okay? For all seekers, you gain a 6% crit damage bonus and then a 15% target defense ignore. This is quite a strong damage buff, because you know, from the seeker path you're already getting physical attacks in terms of the upgrades, but then on top of that, look at this lethality of the seeker, giving you more crit damage and ignoring defense as well. So super good. But that is not to take away from, I think, the strongest path, and that's why Watcher is so up there, because their lines are just a bit OP. So there's one that increases damage, okay, if the character has 2 or more buffs. And you know, Gloria, she has got loads of buffs, so you can see every upgrade is 2%, and at the level 10 it's going to be a 20% damage increase buff. Crazy. And then there's another one that is a damage reduction, okay, if they're unharmed, so that means if they're untouched at the moment, any physical attack coming in is going to be decreased by a huge chunk, which again just cements Watcher's path being super strong. Now to balance it out, their all roll buff is going to be magic defense, which later on maybe you'll upgrade, but it's definitely not as a priority. Magic defense, physical defense are not going to be as a priority in comparison to the physical attack and magical attacks, and even HP in terms of upgrades. So we've spoken about the class specific buffs, and last but certainly not least, Defender unfortunately is gonna be the worst choice in terms of investment right now. Later on there'll be characters that really do benefit, but before that character comes, okay, we will, of course, I think be around like 50, 60 even a max level. So yeah, we should be well underway, geared and positioned to take that Defender and upgrade their talent tree. But for now, this is my priority, and going over this CN as well as the Taiwanese guys, this is their conclusion. Tactics, tactical points, physical, magical attacks, that is that has synergy with your characters that are specific to each path, and making sure that everything matches. And I'm very glad I had the opportunity to, of course, use the test account to unlock everything so we can present to you guys and go over some of these notes, because it's very hard for me to talk about these upgrades if I don't have access to everything that is unlocked, right? So very glad. Thank you to the devs for making it happen. And of course, this is not, I always have to say this because they asked me to, this is not the official release. Of course, anything can change, but it's the same as the CN Taiwan is the global version that we see so far. But yeah, just a little side note that I always have to knock out in terms of using this server. But anyhow, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was very educational, helpful in terms of we needed to focus priority wise, getting the tactics, getting the right tactics, upgrading your tactical points, and then going for these specific buffs are going to be key in building your character. So thank you guys for watching, and don't worry too much, okay, because these you can always farm. It's just making sure that you're actually upgrading on tactics, because talents make a huge difference, and people sometimes don't farm the talent mats, but later on you will be needing a lot of them. So make sure you get at least your bonus double rewards every single day, and farming them when you have the extra stamina. But thank you guys for watching. Again, it's TimaeuSS here, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye now.